welcome to my channel. This is Fab Face Over 40 and my name is Lee. This is the very first YouTube video I've ever made, and so I'm going to ask for all of you to be pretty kind to me in your comments. I know that I have a long way to go and I'm still learning about lighting and cameras and recording and all of the things that go along with making a wonderful YouTube video, but I'm going to just start and we'll learn as we go. I hope that you like it. I hope that you hit the thumbs up. I really appreciate you watching this video. If you like what you see at the end, I hope you'll subscribe because I'm going to be making a lot more videos to show you guys, and I'm really excited about this. But today's video is going to be about concealers, and that is a subject that's near and dear to my heart. I was gifted genetically with dark circles under my eyes. By my father. I take after his side of the family. If you see me without makeup, you'll see me partially without makeup in this video. That's pretty much my dad, except for he's 81 now. So I look at him and I say that's exactly what I'm going to look like when I'm older. But since I was a teenager, I have literally been searching for the perfect concealer. Lately, my dark circles, I'm 45, and lately my eye circles, the dark circles, have been joined by their unfortunate roommate, the under eye bag. And so a lot of times I realize that I've got plenty of concealer under my eyes, but it's really hard to disguise those bags. It's just the way my skin is aging. And so, you know, sometimes in this video you'll be able to see that the concealer is really working well, but you can still see those bags. It's a process. I'm still working on those bags, and maybe one day I'll figure out how to get rid of them. So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to talk about a few of my very, very favorite concealers. I'm gonna try some out. I'm going to talk about what I think makes them work. I'm going to talk about what I don't like in a concealer, and maybe give y'all a chance in the comments below to tell me what you think about concealers in general and about what you see in the video. Okay, so stay tuned. I'm going to come back with only foundation and eyebrows, and when we'll test out some concealers. All right, see you in a minute. I'm back with just my foundation and my eyebrows done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through a couple of my favorite concealers and talk about their qualities and what I think about them. So the first one that we're going to talk about is one that is all over the internet, and it is Tarte Shape Tape, and it looks like this. And Tarte Shape Tape is, it's called Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer. I use it in the color Light, and it is, I think, about $25. And you can get it at Ulta. You can get it from other sources too. I don't think Sephora carries it, but definitely Ulta carries it. It can be hard to find because it is so popular. Now, I did not like this concealer when I first got it. It's very thick. You put it on, you know, with your doe foot applicator. I'm going to go ahead and just put it under my eye. Use a beauty blender to blend it in. And I thought that it was a really thick and fast drying concealer, meaning that, you know, if you stepped away from your makeup mirror for a second, you know, to do something with your dog or your kids, then it's going to be set and not something you're happy with, most likely. So that's not bad. That's actually pretty good, I think. So let me see if I can give a frontal view of that. So no concealer, Tarte Shape Tape. It's a very high coverage concealer. You do need to be careful with the color. This one might be a hair light for me now that it's summertime. I don't have a ton of sun on my face, but this is maybe what I would use all through the winter, and if I had spent a lot of time at the beach this summer, I might would have gone one shade darker than this. The next one we're going to look at it's the Kat Von D Lock-It Cream Concealer, and she has two Lock-It concealers. One is the cream concealer, which is what this is, and the other one is I think just more of a tube, maybe, I don't know, but this is the one that I like with the doe foot applicator, and this is in color L9 Neutral. And it is $26. And I really am a big fan of Kat Von D's makeup products. And I say that because, as you know, I'm kind of gearing these videos mostly towards women who are over 35 or women who are, you know, maybe looking at makeup in a new light for the first time as they have begun to age a tiny bit. And I feel that women our age or my age ignore Kat Von D's products a lot of times And it's because now I'm looking at that in my little mirror over here, and I'm not loving it as much as the Tarte Shape Tape. This might teach me a little lesson over here, but what do you think between these two? This is Tarte Shape Tape. This is Kat Von D. Try to get a full straight-on lighted video. But Kat Von D's display in Sephora looks youthful. It's obviously she's a tattoo artist, and so her displays are heavily influenced by her beautiful tattoo art. But it looks young, and so I think there's a lot of women who are maybe over 40 who just walk by thinking it's for teenagers. Well, it's not. She's got amazing concealer. Her foundation's really good, and her eyeliner, tattoo eyeliner, it's to me, it's the best eyeliner on the market as far as a liquid eyeliner. These are the two concealers that are the higher end of the ones I'm going to feature. And let me know in the comments below which one you think is better. I think the Kat Von D is a little bit more forgiving. Like I talked about the thickness and the drying down of the Tarte Shape Tape, but it is high coverage. And if you're looking for high coverage, I mean, this is your concealer. Consistency is great on both, and they're both really $1 away from each other in price point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to take off this concealer. Give me 1 second and I'll be right back. So I'm back. I have taken off those two concealers. Hopefully you can tell a difference between when I had them on and when I didn't. I do have really bad dark circles under my eyes. And so I'm always searching, as I have said many times, I'm always on a search for the Holy Grail concealer. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about now is my very, very favorite drugstore concealer, and a concealer that is only available from a direct sales company. Okay, so the first one I'm going to talk about is the Maybelline. It's the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. This is what it looks like. I use this in the color Light Pale. So I'm going to do that on this side of the face. I'm going to just swipe it on there like that. And again, we're going to use that beauty blender to apply it. So I don't know how I found this concealer. I've always really liked to just hang around in drugstores and look at makeup since I was like 13 years old. And so I was probably doing that. I found it and I was attracted to it because it said Instant Age Rewind. That's really why I was attracted to it. All right, so this is the drugstore concealer. It's not perfect coverage. It's really hard for me to tell in this lighting with my lighting that I have in my little studio here, but it's pretty good, I think, for $8. It doesn't really have any smell, and it travels well. It lasts a long time. You always know how much you've got left because you can see it coming down the sides. So that is the Instant Age Rewind that's on my left side and your right side. And the next one I want to talk about is by the up-and-comer company Ever. Now, Ever is the skincare line that has been launched by the Stella & Dot Jewelry Company, which is massively successful. And Ever has maybe been around for 18 months. I don't think they've been around for 2 years. They could have been. Most of their line is skincare. They have only just recently come out with, well, I mean, I think they have a tinted daytime moisturizer. They have recently launched this concealer, probably in the last 6 months or so. They sell it in conjunction with a corrector. I'm not going to talk about the corrector today. I'm going to hold them up together though. They look like this. And one says that the Ever Daylight Treatment Concealer, and one says Ever Daylight Treatment. Actually, they both say the same thing on the front, but the back will show you. You see, they say corrector and extra light. Now, we're not going to talk about this corrector today. I'm going to do a whole other video on correctors because I have a slew of them as part of my arsenal of products to combat my under eye circles and bags. I am the queen of these products, I tell you that right now. But I am going to talk about this. I do really like this concealer. I have to put it on the back of my hand, and then I'll generally use a finger to kind of dot it under my eye like this. And then again, I still use the Beauty Blender. So I'm just going to use this without the corrector, just like I did the other concealers, and then we'll see how it turns out. All right, so that's the Ever product, Beauty Blended Out. Don't look at my filthy Beauty Blender. I cleaned this last week, I promise. Okay, so that's the Ever concealer, and on this side, and then we've got the Maybelline on this side. I'm going to try to move my face in the lighting so that you can see which one's the best. Now, let me know in the comments which one you think is better, and then think about the other two that I showed you. I kind of go amongst all of these. By the way, the Ever is $35. I forgot to mention that. You don't have to spend a huge quantity of money to get a great product as far as a concealer, but we probably, women my age, need to be wearing a concealer on a daily basis because we do have dark circles that could stay frequently under our eyes because we're tired, we're moms, we work, we have a crazy chaotic life, or at least I do, and that shows on our face. And so if we want everyone to say, my God, you look amazing today, maybe we should throw on a little bit of concealer. Now the last thing I want to say before I go back and finish my face, well, I'm going to show you how I set my face. I'm using this NARS translucent powder in the color Crystal. I use this ancient Sephora fluffy brush. I don't know what the number of this is. Actually, must have large powder brush. I did not know this was still on the handle. Number 30 maybe? I've had this for a long time. So I just kind of dab that into the powder and I just go over my eyes. And then I use the remainder on the rest of my face. I do not do anything else than that. You watch a lot of makeup videos and they'll talk about baking. And baking is where you would have a great deal of powder in a container and you would swipe it up and just pat it on under your eyes. It would just be caked on there white. And it would stay there for about 5 or 10 minutes. You might finish your face while you're baking, is what they say. And then you would take your brush and brush away the excess. Baking is not something I recommend for women who are starting to see some fine lines and wrinkles under their eyes. If I was in my 20s, boy, I'd bake every single day probably because it does give your under eye a flawless finish. It prevents creasing. It's supposed to keep your concealer in place all day. But when I have done it, I look like the freaking Grim Reaper, the Crypt Keeper. It somehow makes my under eye skin look as crepey and wrinkly as linen that you've been wearing in your car for 6 hours. I mean, it shows every single line under my eyes. So I do not recommend that. I think it's as you age, you lose collagen under your eyes and you get that a little crepiness effect. And somehow that baking emphasizes it. It's like it just cakes in. I don't even know. I don't know what the science behind that is, but don't do it. So that's all I do. Again, no pressed powder. Do not use pressed powder. Do not take it, your CoverGirl, old-timey pressed powder that we all used to have in our purse and swipe that puff and do under your eyes. Girl, you are going to look as old as the hills. Do not do that either. We're just using a little loose powder. We're dabbing it around our face. We do want to be a little bit dewy. We don't want to look like we're just our grandmama caked down with powder, and then a slash of red lipstick on our lips. We're trying to look youthful. I'm going to finish my face, and then I'm going to come back with some final thoughts. Thanks. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. I will be happy to answer any questions you have. Just put them in the comments below. If I've tried a certain concealer that you want to ask me about, I'll let you know my thoughts. If you want me to review any other concealers that you know about or love, please put those in the comments and I can come back and do another review video later. Again, thank you so much for watching this very first video that I've ever made. Like I said, please subscribe. Thanks so much, everybody.